how to meal prep. Now, everybody always feels that it's a super daunting task, and over the years I've developed some key points that really make meal prep super easy. So the best meal prep that's going to work for you is what's going to be easy for your life. So some people like to prep all their food on, say, like a Sunday morning, but for my life I find that that's really not ideal. So typically what we do is we'll prep our fruits on one day, we'll prep our carbs on another day, we'll prep our meat on another day. So you are always prepping food, but a lot of it's really easy that you don't even really pay attention to. So I'm going to get started today, and today I'm just going to show you how to do your vegetables and your carb sources. So we'll get started, and it's super easy. So for me, I like to cook everything so it's about al dente. So what that means is just before it's really cooked, so it's still a little bit crispy, or crunchy, sorry. So when I'm making my sweet potatoes, I'm going to cook all those. I'm going to cook my peppers so that they're still crunchy, but the key to doing all this is that when you're actually making all your food, you have everything already prepped. So for example, if you were to make your spaghetti sauce and you were to use your red peppers, but you decided you wanted tacos instead, well, they're already used in your spaghetti sauce and you can't really take them out. So what I do with my meal prep is I prep everything plain, and then I put them in the fridge so that when I'm actually making a meal, I can just pull them out and whip up a really good meal in under 5 minutes. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with my sweet potatoes because they take the longest. And for my sweet potatoes, I just cook them in really big chunks. So I've already washed these before, and I prep the oven there. Now, I am not by any means a chef. So if you're a chef and you're watching my poor cutting skills, call me and so you can teach me how to prep this. So for example, that's how I cut my sweet potatoes. So they're pretty big chops. And I should have had a timer to see how long this actually takes me. So I like to cook about 4 to 5 sweet potatoes. And you can do white potatoes as well. A lot of people try to stay away from white potatoes, but the problem with being so specific about foods is you're going to create nutritional deficiencies. So for example, I know a person that has been eating the same meal plan now for like 4 years, and the problem with that is if you only ever eat sweet potatoes, and you only ever eat oatmeal, and you only ever eat bananas because, you know, this, your favorite fitness model, that's all they eat. Well, the problem with that is that you're creating, like I said, nutritional deficiencies. So vitamins and minerals are missing out. And the other part of that is that you can easily develop food sensitivities. So, for example, even though the food might be good for you, if you're always eating the same food, you can develop a food sensitivity where your body just doesn't get along with it anymore. I'm going to finish cutting these up here. So again, pretty big slices, and then you can use them for whatever you want. Sometimes I'll make mashed sweet potatoes out of mine, and as you can see, I leave the skin on them. The skin has a lot of fiber, so they're obviously very good for you. Toss these in here. And here's almost done. Of course, if you wanted to do something a little bit more fancy with your potatoes, you could easily chop them up so they look more like French fries. Oh, I missed a piece there. I bet there's chefs at home being like, oh my God, don't cut like that. Cut your finger off. Okay, so my sweet potatoes, you can see they all look pretty big. I'm going to throw them in the oven at 400 for about 40 minutes. So my sweet potatoes have been started. Up next, I'm going to start some of my other carb sources. So you see over here, I have a red quinoa, I've got regular quinoa, and I also have wild rice. So and I'll divide them into different servings. So I'll do one for the fridge and then one for the freezer. So I'm gonna grab some. So with wild rice, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So if you're doing 1 cup of rice, you're gonna need 2 cups of water. And water is not the quickest here. Should have pre-measured this before. Okay, so I've got my 2 cups here. Now, an important thing to note when you're making quinoa, now this happens a lot when people first try quinoa, you actually have to wash it off. So you can put it into like a bowl and then strain it, but you want to wash it off because there's a film on it that actually tastes quite bitter. Quinoa tastes amazing, but if you have that bitter film on it, it doesn't taste very good. So I'm just going to make some rice. I'll do 2 cups of rice here. I love rice, it's a great side. There we go. And I'll put my wild rice now. Again, don't think that I just only use wild rice. I also have brown rice and white rice in the cupboard, but I'm out of wild rice, so I'm going to make that today. So I'm going to pour in my 2 cups, and there we go. The great thing with using a rice maker is that when you're making 10 other things, you don't have to forget that you have rice on. So you don't have to worry about going, oh my god, my water's all boiled away, and then you're left with nothing. My rice maker is supposed to have the lid attached to it, but somehow it broke. So all you have to do is push the button down, and the steam will come out of here, and it says cook, and we will leave that there. So up next, I'm going to boil some water for my black bean spaghetti. So I absolutely love this. This is one of my favorite finds at the Bulk Barn. So there's 4 servings in this package, and 1 serving is 2 grams of fat, 15 grams of carbs, and 23 grams of protein. So if you're not somebody that really likes your protein sources from meat, this is a really, really easy way to get it. And again, I like to cook this a little bit before it is super soft. So when I do take it out and I might make spaghetti with it, or I might do like a cold salad with it, it's going to be already ready. So I'll turn my pot on and I'll leave that there. Up next, I'm going to do my green bean salad. And apparently, I don't have any scissors today. And I picked the one that doesn't have all the wrong things in the video, right? Like the wrong element on. Okay, here we go. It's funny, I was just talking about that before we started filming. Okay. So I'm going to take these, and I actually, for this recipe, I'm just going to put them right onto a cookie sheet. And I'm going to bake them straight from there. So these are President's Choice. And the reason why I like to get the frozen ones is because they're actually grown in Canada, which is really great because I find our vegetable season is really short. And oftentimes when you go to buy green beans, they don't look ideal. So I like to always have frozen ones, and they're a great price too. So I've got my frozen beans there. I'm somebody that I don't need to measure things when I'm cooking. On these is supposed to go olive oil, salt and pepper. I sprinkle mine on, throw it in the oven, and I already have my oven going here. So throw some oil on there, my salt, and my pepper. Okay. And my salt. a lot warmer than most. So I've got it there. I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes. And the other timer I forgot to set. Okay, so we have our green beans. We've got our water boiling for our black bean pasta. We've got our rice going over there. So up next, I'm going to prep for my peppers. So these I use in a ton of different recipes. You can use them in a salad. You can use them in fajitas. You can use them in, if you're making spaghetti sauce. So like I said, I don't like to cook them till they're super soft so that you're really limited to what you're putting them in, sorry. So, like this. And you know what the best part of recording all this is? After I'm done, my meal prep is done already. That's perfect. Let's chop these up here. So there's two options for your peppers that you can do. It's really up to you depending on how you like your peppers. Actually, I should have said 3 options. So you can cut them in half and then bake them right in your oven like that. Or you can cut them up like this and bake them in the oven like that with a little bit of sea salt, olive oil, and pepper on them. Or you can bake them in a pan. So I'm going to do them in a pan today just because I have some other things going on. Like I said, normally I meal prep throughout the week, so I'll cook kind of as I go. So I would normally just put these in the oven and basically do them as like a roasted red pepper, because you can cut them up and use them in spaghetti sauce, pasta, anything like that from there. Alternatively, you can definitely throw them on the barbecue as well. Okay, so those are almost done here. The water should be good here. So I'm going to throw my black beans in there. This is like unreal pasta. I have not found a really good pasta for ever, what it seems. Being gluten-free, it's really, really hard to find one that's not made of corn or rice. I mean, rice pasta tastes like you're eating rice. It's not really that pasta feel to it. So with this, it's nice to actually have a very, very good type of pasta. So I'll leave that there, and that's on high. I'll come back to clean my other pepper here. So again, what you do is really what works. What's going to work for you is what is going to be easiest for your lifestyle. On the weekends, I'm not at home too much, so really taking 3 hours of my Sunday to do meal prep, to be quite honest, is really not what I want to do. So that's why I prefer cooking as I go. So for example, last night I made spaghetti squash, so it's really, really easy. You'll see it here. It's just already in a container. So what I did was I cut a spaghetti squash in half, placed it face down on my baking dish, and I baked it in the oven for 40 minutes. Obviously, using the stove in the evening is a lot better right now with it being warm out. So bake that, put it in here, and then I can make a variety of different recipes with this. So I could do like a pesto pasta sauce with chicken, or I've got my tomato basil here that I can also do like a red sauce with. So I've got my peppers in here, I've got my pan on, so I'm going to wait for that to heat up, and I'm going to grab an onion here. A really cool idea or way to cut your onions is actually to put ski goggles on if your eyes start to tear up when you're wearing them. And I believe mine. If you can't tell, I've redone the kitchen, so everything's not completely done. But I think my goggles have been moved. So we'll try to tough this out. So with my onions, same thing. I don't like to cut them super specific. I chop them up like this and then kind of let my pan do the rest. I just peel off the outside edge. And I'll leave those. 2. And last piece. There we go. Okay, so my peppers. So my peppers I can use, and my onions I can use, like I said, in a pasta sauce. I can use them in a salad, which is probably what I'll end up doing with them. So I've got those done there. I'm going to grab another cutting dish here. I'm going to wash my hands on the onions. And I'm going to start cutting my pears for the green bean and pear salad. So as you can see so far, we've spent about 7-8 minutes prepping. So really when people say it takes a long time, I think it's because people haven't done it before, because it doesn't take that long to do your meal prep. So I've got my pears here. I'm just going to peel these off. Now, a good question that I get asked often is, what's the difference between buying organic and non-organic foods? And there are a couple differences to it. I'll just wash these off here. I'm just going to rinse my knife so they don't taste like onions. So the difference between organic and non-organic, to me, the biggest difference is honestly the taste. You don't have to buy all your foods as organic foods. There's a lot of foods that there's not a noticeable difference. For example, lemons and limes, anything with a thick peel, you're not going to notice a difference as much because the chemicals have a hard time getting through the peel. Something like pears, I'm a little bit more conscious with buying organic just because it's a much thinner peel, so it's easier to absorb the chemicals and pesticides. Okay, so I've cut my pears up, and for my pears I'm going to put them in the oven, so these are going with my green bean salad. So with my pears, there's 2 options you can do, again the same way that I did before, and that was just lay them out onto the pan here. Now, I take a little bit more time with the green bean salad more than a lot of things, just because I really, really like it, and it is such a favorite for any potluck or any family event. I always ask to bring the green bean salad, so you'll definitely have to try it if you haven't yet. It's on our website, and that's aspiretnl.com, and you'll see under our blog we have recipes of the week. So I'm going to throw these out. Now there's 2 ways you can do the pears. It really depends if you want them to be a little bit more crispy and crunchy, or if you want them a little bit more like soft and soggy. So the way that I like to do mine, I like mine so that when you bite in them, you get the juiciness, I guess, of the pear. So I kind of just do mine like this, and then I just sprinkle a little bit of olive oil on them, and sea salt. Salt. I know it sounds crazy thinking about putting salt on pears, but it is very good. And the same thing with pepper. about doing these pears that I double up with them is with my pears, I'll also use them for salads as well. So again, like I said, I'm really big on just prepping all the food and then using them for multiple recipes. Because there's nothing like getting stuck with 10 things of something that you really didn't necessarily want. So I'm going to grab my oven mitt here. And I'm going to put my pears in the oven. Now you'll notice that there's some things taken out right now. I'll set my pears on for 25 minutes. So while I was cutting my pears, some things came out of the oven. So you'll notice my sweet potatoes are over here. And I just threw them in containers like this. So you'll notice that they're a little bit soft. And then I also took the pasta out. So I like to put everything out to cool, because I notice when you put lids on things right away and then you put them into the fridge, you'll get the moisture that's risen from the food, and then it doesn't keep the food as well. So I like to kind of leave them sit out for a bit. I've got my green beans here that I'm going to use for the pears when they're done, and I'm actually going to throw my peppers into the oven, just because then I have less dishes to clean. Here. And then my onions, like I said, I just cut them up like that, and you can easily pop them out like that. This is a funky onion though, because it's got like 2 centers to it. Now, I don't like to put all my onions with all of my peppers, because like I said, if I like to use some in a salad that I don't really want to have taste like peppers, taste like onions, then I just like to put my onions over here. Just push them out like that. And again, I'm going to grab, actually I'm going to grab some grapeseed oil. And I like to use grapeseed oil because it tastes more like butter than olive oil. And actually, olive oil, you're not supposed to cook with it. I'll leave that tip there for all my chef friends that have told me that in the past. So again, a little bit of sea salt. And I'm only going to put pepper on half of this. Like I said, I like to use some of it for salads. But the other half I'm going to use for fajitas. So I'm going to salt it or season it there. And these will cook for about 15 to 20 minutes at 400, and that's going to be nice and crispy. If you want them to be more soft, I would do 350 for a little bit longer. Here. So I've got my timer set for those. So now that we've got a lot of food made, we'll go back. I did take my rice out while I was cutting my pears as well. So my rice is now done. And I've also got these in 2 containers here. So they're ready to cool. And from there, I'm going to make my quinoa as well. So I'm going to grab some water here. And so far we've been about 20 minutes, and of course with the time there with the stove, which isn't really bad for the amount of food that we have so far. The longest part is obviously filling up the water. So I've got 2 cups here, and I'm going to put another 2 cups in. I don't really wash my rice cooker out. Ideally, I should have made the quinoa first because they're a lot smaller. I'm not really picky. If there's a piece of wild rice in my quinoa, that's okay with me. If you want no rice in your quinoa, then make your quinoa first. Okay, so I've got another 2 cups here. Actually, I might only be able to do 3. So quinoa is 1 and 1. So for my quinoa, I'm going to rinse it, and I'm going to check here. Dish. So you don't have to be perfect with your quinoa. I just added the other dish just because my strainer has holes in it and the quinoa is falling through. And it doesn't need to be perfect because it's obviously just going into water. So I'm going to grab this. If my mom was here, she'd probably be so mad at how messy the kitchen is right now. But it's my kitchen, so it doesn't matter. And you're going to obviously make some mess while you're doing this here. And I've got my green beans. They're going to be done here in a couple minutes. Up next, I'm going to do my water here. And one here. So again, you can freeze your rice and your quinoa. So one of these I'll put in my fridge, and the other one I'll actually freeze. So it's really easy. You can just take them out whenever you need them. So up next, I'm going to do my vegetables here. So I'm using a vegetable steamer, and it's so easy. These things are awesome. I'm really good at forgetting what I'm cooking. So this here, it's got an easy timer, and I find when you're doing your vegetables in like a pot and steaming them that way, it's really easy to over or undercook them. The great thing with the vegetable steamer is you can always set it for the same time and not have to worry about over or undercooking your vegetables. So we're going to be making Brussels sprouts, and on the back here it says about 15 to 17 minutes. The other thing I should mention is you can make eggs in this as well. So if you're going to be doing like hard-boiled eggs, you can also do this in here as well. Now today I don't have a lot of vegetables because the grocery store didn't have any asparagus or good broccoli, but normally I would start my broccoli or asparagus at the beginning, the same time before I put my sweet potatoes in, and then I'd be able to have 3 sets of different vegetables as I'm cooking everything, because they, like I said, they only take about 15 minutes. So at the end, I could have had my broccoli, my asparagus, and my Brussels sprouts. So I'm going to grab some water here. Actually, first. So there's no right or wrong amount of water to put in your vegetable steamer. I always like to go a little bit more rather than less. I'm going to set this here, set the timer for 15 minutes. And again, back to the Superstore having frozen vegetables. Throw these in here. I'll grab my other one here. Okay, now lastly, I'm going to prepare my flavored water. I don't really like water that much, so I always try to make flavored water because I'm not really a fan of water, but obviously it's very important for fat loss. So I'm going to put cucumber and lime, and then I'm also going to put mint in this as well. I'm just going to cut up my cucumber. And again, there's really no right or wrong amount of the lemon or lime or cucumber that you're putting in. So I'm just going to use a couple pieces here and try not to cut my finger off on camera. That would be something not very fun to edit out. Okay. Okay, and put that out, and I'm going to run outside and grab some mint, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a little herb garden outside, so I just grabbed some mint. I'm going to throw that in there, stir it up. I'll throw some ice in here, and then throw it in the fridge, and my water's done. So today, within about a half hour, I made a lot of rice, a lot of black bean pasta, some sweet potatoes. I've got my green beans, which will be good with my pears. And like I said, I'll put half of them in there and I'll leave half for salads. I've got my red peppers and my onions. Half of those will be for salads. The other half will either be for fajitas or pasta mixed in there. I got my Brussels sprouts cooking here, and I got my quinoa, and that was a lot of food. So the next thing I would say is if you've got someone else at home that can do some of the cooking, they could be doing the barbecuing right now. When I do my barbecue, I do a bunch of chicken, I'll do some steaks, some pork chops, make a ton of meat the same way that I've done here. Don't really season any of them, and so you can pull them out. So think of the way that restaurants do it. I mean, they're multi-million-dollar companies, and they all pre-prep their food beforehand. So hopefully you have learned a lot today, and thank you so much for watching my video. And of course, check back on our website for more fitness tips and nutrition. Thanks for watching.